add on, which is what I'm going to do today because I can't leave any of these fabrics behind. So I'm just going to lay it right side to right side, and I'm going to sew at 1 centimetre seam allowance.
Oh, these colours work so well, don't they?
They are absolutely stunning.
But I like, by adding this mesh on, it's a bit like adding bag hardware. It just gives it an extra dimension and makes it look really professional, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely. And then that will get flipped over into place. It will be longer than, I always do it that way so you trim back, just for any of those whoopsie moments. Not that they happen, of course.
Never,
but, you know,
never.
That's because we build in the errors, isn't it? And then we don't need them.
Exactly.
And then, like I say, we can press them across. So I'll just give that a very quick flick. And then top stitch, because top stitch, again, functionally, it's not doing anything. So structurally, it's not adding. But decoratively, it's looking lovely. So just do that. Maybe if you want to use those stitches again.
So are you using foam interfacing on this?
Pardon?
Foam interfacing.
Yes, it's all foam again. So
your Bosal.
Yeah. Fusible or non-fusible, it's up to you. But obviously, if you don't use fusible, then you will need to fix it in some way with some spray. So yeah, I would just trim down those sides there. I'm just going to do it very quickly with my scissors. Normally, I would just use my rotary cutter and ruler. And of course, you can base those ends. Now, when I fix in this mesh now, let me just make sure my bird's the right way around. Don't want to chop his head off. I'm going to lay that on over the top. And you can have it as one big open pocket if you want to. So therefore, just basting around these edges here. Or we can subdivide and just go down, up, down and around.
Okay.
So you've got
what
choices.
You want to put in your pockets.
Absolutely. I think I've always subdivided. It's just a preference of mine. And of course you can use your ruler to make markings if that'll make it easier for you. Or if you're confident, then just eyeball it into place. So I'm going to work down. I will go up again. When I do it this way, some people attempt to rotate the fabric around and come back down the same line. I never do that. I always rotate, come down at least one stitch, make it look purposeful, as though you were sewing denim and you'd have a twin track.
Right,
I always do that. And then I come back. It's better to do that because then you can see the row that came before, and you've got a good chance of it looking lovely, rather than trying to stay on track and it being wobbly.
And it's like, I see what you mean. No, that makes sense.
The back panel, I tend to just do that one as a solid panel, but there's no reason with all the mesh that you've got.
Oh, well, there's loads. So you could have a pocket on all sides.
You can, and if you want
and the inside.
Yeah, if you wanted to do a pocket on the end pockets, the end panels, you could do as well. Plenty of options there and plenty of fabric to work with.
So the bundle that Lucy's using at the moment, in it you have the beautiful Lewis and Irene fabrics and these gorgeous pinks. So you've got this lovely one with all the birds on. Yes, you get 1 metre of that one with the birds. Because you're making all these different baskets, so you get absolutely loads of fabric here. And you get the printed flowers and then the little ditzy print. And then you get the gold, which is used to line them all. Because you get to make 3 baskets and the little wallet as well. And you also get a massive pack of the mesh as well.
And the likelihood is you will probably want to make more because they don't take long to make at all.
Right.
So and they look lovely as a collection. And like you say, I've got them in my bathroom, I've got them in my bedroom, I've got them all over my sewing hub. They're everywhere. They're so useful. My 2 boys in the bathroom, they have one each with their own toiletries in.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, because you put all your scissors and all your sort of the longer rotary
Absolutely, yeah.
in, couldn't you?
Doesn't that look lovely?
These are fab. Well, thank you so much, Lucy. Oh, show us the little bit.
Ta-da.
Oh, fab.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks really lovely. And I think that mesh and binding the top, it looks very professional, it's very finished.
Yes.
I think when you add extra materials to things, it looks great, doesn't
Yes.
it? So the pattern on its own, if you want to buy that, the printed version, this is the code coming up on the screen now. There you go, £9.99 for the printed version, IVLZ53, and it will be sent to you like this. It's got all the instructions and measurements you need. If you would prefer to print it off at home, making it straight away, this is the code that you will need for the digital download, MGLZ78, and then you can just download it and print it at home. Thank Lucy, that was fabulous. Lovely. So we'll see you back here at 12 with your gorgeous snuggly blanket. Now, I promised everyone we're going to talk about quilting fleece.
Perfect.
Because it's something we get a lot of questions about. Can I use fleece instead of wadding? Yes, you can, and we're going to talk all about that. And it looks amazing, and Lucy's got some more beautiful kits, so don't go anywhere for that. I will be back with you in a few minutes' time. Debbie is waiting for us. Stamps. We've got some gorgeous stamps. They are going wild. If you want to get your hands on Debbie's stamps, you need to get checked out now. She's designed them. You can buy the stamps, print them onto fabric. You can use them for a host of different things, and we'll be talking about it in just a few minutes' time.
Never miss a show by watching on the go with the Sewing Street app. Head over to your app store now and search Sewing Street and simply download to your smartphone or tablet. You can watch the shows live and see your favourite presenters and guests. Click on the Today button to shop all of the products that are featured in today's show. Want to know what's hot? Then click here to see today's bestsellers and highlights. Have you missed a show or want to watch one back? Then click the schedule button and you can go back 7 days to watch and shop, and you can also see what's coming up over the next 7 days. Want to say hello or ask a question to our guests? Then send a message to the studio. You can also keep in touch with all the latest news, events, product launches and much more by clicking here for our social media pages. Never miss a show by watching on the go with Sewing Street.
Turning tools are one of my favourite tools. They are perfect for turning tubes of fabric the right way round. So maybe you're making bag handles or straps, or you're doing small rouleau loops, absolutely perfect. So if you've got a piece of fabric here, I've sewed it in half, right sides facing. Turning it right sides out takes quite a long time. So what you need is a turning tool. If you take the tube of fabric, tack it together across the end, it just holds it together using the longest stitch, and then you just get the plastic tube, put it to the end, get your stick and push it in, and then it turns your tube right sides out really, really quickly. It's genius. Simplest thing, but absolute genius. Now, in these turning tool sets, you get different sizes. So that's the big one. So if you were using a narrower tube, then use the next size down. Now, when it's a short tube, I don't tend to tack the end. You can just fold the end in and push it through like this, and that will turn that right sides out. Look how quick it is. And if you're doing really small loops, like this one here, there's even a smaller one as well. So if you just slide the smaller tube inside, then the smallest one comes with a little metal stick instead of a wooden one. But look how quick and easy that is to turn right sides out. Saves you loads of time. When you get your set of turning tubes, do make yourself a little bag, just a little drawstring bag to put them in, because otherwise they get separated, and it keeps them all nice and neat and saves you so much time.
Our UK-based call centre is always on hand to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletter. Go to sewingstreet.com and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. Type in your email address and click the envelope. That's it. you'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Shopping with Sewing Street couldn't be easier. You can shop via our website at www.sewingstreet.com, where you can watch our live shows and see all the products from that day. We also have a huge amount of products on our website, from your sewing room essentials to fabrics, sewing machines and much more. You can download and shop on the go with our Sewing Street app. Simply head over to your app store and search Sewing Street. Alternatively, you can contact our UK-based call centre 24 hours a day on 0800 001 4433. Shopping made easy at Sewing Street.
Ever heard of a design roll? It's a bundle of pre-cut fabric strips, each typically 2.5 inches wide and the full width of the fabric. Design rolls are made up of coordinating prints and colours, making them perfect for quilts, patchwork or other strip sewing projects. No cutting or matching needed, just unroll and start creating. Design roll, a simple way to bring your project to life. Looking for the perfect gift for the sewing enthusiast in your life? The Sewing Street gift card is just the thing. Choose between a physical card delivered to their door or a convenient e-gift sent straight to their inbox. It's easy. Just head to the Sewing Street website, scroll to the bottom of the page, click Gift Cards, or use your smartphone, scan the QR code and go straight there. Pick the amount you'd like to load onto the card, and that's it. The Sewing Street gift card, the gift of creativity made simple.
Every day, our experts will bring you a wealth of knowledge. They'll take you through the steps of making projects, and we feature fabulous tips along the way. Whether you're new to sewing or a seasoned pro, you're sure to learn something new. We're live every day from 8 a.m. till 1 p.m, and you can also watch back all of the demonstrations featured on the show on our YouTube channel.
Here at Sewing Street, we only charge one P&P throughout the day. You can add as many items to your basket and check out and still only be charged once. Once you've checked out the first time and want to order again, you simply add the item to the basket and click on the Combine Order button. Remember, standard P&P is £4.95. Charges may differ for outside the UK. Or upgrade to our premium option for £6.95 on certain items. Shopping made easy at Sewing Street.
Welcome back to Sewing Street. Hello, Debbie. Have you had a nice break?
I have actually, yes,
Good,
thank you very much.
It's nice to have a little hour in between.
It is,
You've
yeah.
just got to sit down and have a coffee.
Yeah.
Good, good. So we've got even more exciting things this hour. You've been so busy.
Oh, do you know, I'd like to bring something that's a little bit different. And the stamps that you're going to have a look at in a bit are, I think, but if you know, a new technique, you wanted to just try something a little bit different.
No, I think it's great. And I think, well, it's like with your templates we did earlier, that's lovely. It's just a way of making things easier and expanding what your skills can be. But we're going to start off with this brilliant tablet organiser. I love this because we all have tablets, and what do you put them in?
Yeah.
Well, you can buy a case, but they're not very attractive, are they?
No, and, you know, a case may house your tablet. This one's got a pocket on the front, which is quite big enough if you've got a diary or an A5 notebook will fit in there very easily. Your tablet will fit in there if it's the same kind of size as mine. Just standard tablet.
Yes.
And then on the back, you've also got a flat pocket, so if you wanted to keep your patterns or pens or things like that in there as well.
That's brilliant, isn't
and
it?
I put a handle on it, not because you're going to carry it around like a handbag, but purely because it's easier to pick up that than it is
that's
that,
brilliant.
if that makes sense.
I think it's lovely because you do, you know, you can buy tablet cases, but they're always really boring, aren't they? They don't have this. And this you can really embellish and make it your own as well.
Yes, absolutely. And if you're giving it as a gift to somebody, you know, you have got the pan on the front. You don't have to stamp it and embroider it. You could just leave that plain. You could put an initial on there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe even print a photograph onto fabric and use the little panel there. But they make a great gift idea because a lot of people have tablets.
Yes,
You know, male, female, kids. It just makes it really personal.
Yeah, or Kindle.
Yes.
That'd be really good.
Yes.
So on holiday, you could have everything in there, couldn't you?
Yes.
You know, and then when you have to take it all out when you get on the plane, it's all in there. It's all fine. So we've got a bundle of these fabrics. So where you get the instructions and... Ooh,
that's the bonus.
That's the bonus.
You get that.
That's the bonus. That really confused me.
Because you're going to have fabric left over. This doesn't take quite half a metre of fabric.
Okay.
So if you're going to go for the bundle, you have enough to make probably 2 of those as well.
Little cases as well.
So that's just a freebie. You can have that.
Okay, fab. Right, so this is the extra... you've got enough fabric to make 2 of these extra little wallets as well.
Yeah, probably more
Fabulous.
than that.
So in this bundle, you get... This is lovely fabric, isn't it?
I love this fabric. And anything sewing themed, if you're making something for somebody who sews, we'll have anything with
gorgeous,
bobbins and pin cushions on.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? So you've got spools of thread, and you've got in the background you've got loads of decorative stitches as well.
It's like a sampler.
And then you get half a metre of the pale blue one that's got all of your sewing notions on.
Yeah.
Which I've got upside down. There we go. So half a metre of both of those, and you get white for the lining.
Yes. And of course you can use a bit of that to stamp on as well.
So if you want to do stamps or you want to embellish the front, obviously this has been sewn onto the front, but you could not bother with that. You could just put the plain, continue.
Yeah, the measurements are in there if you just wanted to put one piece of fabric on there,
okay.
not the stamped area.
Or you could put like a patchwork block or something. Right, quarter of the stock's gone into baskets for that. I think that's lovely. £27.49, metre and a half of fabric, and you're getting full instructions as well. Show you everything you need to know. Shows all about how cutting the strips, lots of photos. So like as Debbie was saying before, you can just make it following the photos and then refer to the instructions if you need to. But you can just go through all of them, go, okay, so that's that and that's that and that's that, all the way through. And then you get the pattern for the simple wallet at the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's plenty of fabric left, you could be able to make 2 of these. So this would be good, you know, if you were taking it away, you could keep all your tickets and your passport.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Use it as a pencil case, maybe.
That's true. All different sorts of things, all your plasters. Plasters. First aid, you know, plasters.
Oh, right. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that.
I was thinking what I would take travelling. I'd have it full of plasters and things. Well, if you're going on holiday, you might need a lot of plasters and tablets and things. And then all the instructions to make that.
Are you getting this confused to going on holiday and getting plasters?
Yes. Well, I was thinking tablets, you see. Paracetamol, lots of. Don't want to be short of those. And all sorts of things. I was thinking if you were going to take it on holiday with you.
Bikinis, spare bikini.
Yes, yeah. Small flip-flops.
Yeah. Flips.
Yeah, just short ones. Right, we've also got it, the same bundle, but in other colourways. So we'll just go through those so you can see. The bluey one. This is nice, isn't it? This is like the bottom of the swimming pool.
I was just thinking that. It does look like the bottom of a pool.
It's like the mosaics on the bottom of a pool. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
And that's droplets of water in the pool.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's, I feel like they shouldn't all be holiday, but it feels like, well, I guess because that's more your sewing, but this would be lovely for holiday. But what a lovely gift for somebody. You see, you pay your £27.49, you've got the instructions so you can make them again, but that is a lovely gift.
And it's a useful gift, you know, even if you don't put your tablet in there, if it is paperwork or, you know, if you're an artist, you want to put your pens and paintbrushes and things like that. So it's nice.
But I do think it would be a great thing for a holiday because, you know, when you get to the airport and you need all of these different paper and stuff and you've got that with you, it's fabulous, isn't it, to have it all zipped up? Because I have a little wallet that I take with me because otherwise I lose everything. And I used to have a plastic wallet and then they were always like really sharp. And so I have a fabric one now, but I think that's fabulous because it has the zips on as well. So that's that one. Oh, and also, obviously, you get the white for your lining. And then the last one, and full instructions. Oh, this is cool. This is new Seth Apter fabric. Oh, so this is, that's gorgeous, isn't it?
I've not seen that before. That's
no,
lovely.
I haven't either. Is that, I was thought it was pegs, but it's not, is it? When I put my glass on, I thought they were like little clothes pegs. I think that's gorgeous,
like
isn't it?
Fireworks to me.
I put my glass on, I've realised they're not the bits of wire on the pegs. But you see, you could make this for a man, couldn't you?
Yep. Yep, absolutely. That's pretty.
That's gorgeous, isn't it? Beautiful fabrics. And then we've popped a pale grey in for the lining of this. But remember, once you've got the pattern, you can then make it time and time again. But it does make a nice gift for somebody, because a lot of us go around with our iPad in something that doesn't look very lovely. And you can make a beautiful one. You've got to look after them. That's free spirit as well. Mm-hmm. Very nice. So those are the 3 bundles. Now, if you've got plenty of fabric, I'm sure you haven't, but just in case you have, you can get the pattern on its own. Physical printed pattern, $9.99 if you want it on its own. And then you can make loads of them. The wallet instructions obviously come in there as well. That's your freebie, that one. So your tablet organiser and the simple wallet. But it's really good for putting your tablet in or your Kindle. But again, it's quite a nice travel wallet as well.
Yeah, and the school or college, I think anybody would find it useful.
Well, they would, because it's got the zip across the top as well. Because
Yeah.
you put things in these little plastic things, and then they all fall out, don't they? But you've got the zip on, so it's all nice and safe. And then you've got another zip pocket there. You've got a flat pocket on the back, and you've got a handle. Absolutely brilliant. So that's the printed instructions on their own. Loads of you are coming in for this now. It explains on the front all the fabrics you need. So you need 3.5 meters.
But you will have some left
Yeah,
over.
you will have it left over, actually.
Yeah.
And then you've used a H640 fusible fleece inside.
Yes, it'll need something, but because you want it padded. But
Yeah,
if you've got
that's
H20
true.
or even a piece of felt, just something to give it that bit of
Right,
padding
okay,
to
so it
help
does
protect
need-
your screen, basically.
And 2 zips.
And a button.
We have got those coming up in a minute. So you need 2 zips, obviously, for the top. Do check out on this if you want it as the physical pattern. If you want it as the digital download.
Again, no patterns to print.
Pardon?
No pattern to print. You don't need a printer for
No,
it.
oh, okay. So it's all measurements, so you don't actually need... So if you haven't got a printer, but you've just got an iPad, that's fine.
Yeah.
'Cause I know a lot of people go, oh, I'd like that, but I haven't got a printer. But you don't need to print it out because there's no patterns. It's all just measurements. So you can keep it on your laptop or your iPad, but you don't need to print it out if you don't want to. And then if you...
I'm thinking we were talking about cork and faux leather earlier
Oh,
on.
yeah, gorgeous.
That's perfect for this kind of thing, isn't
Well,
it?
and when you were talking earlier about tweeds as well, and
Yes,
denims.
yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, something for absolutely everybody. And so if you're thinking about getting your Christmas presents made early,
Yes.
or if you're making to sell again, I think
Well,
those
it's all,
go
I mean,
really
it
well.
completely changes it when you change the fabric,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
It becomes then who it's for. But yeah, I think the tweed would look nice as well.
Nice, yeah.
Lovely. Stamps. Right, so those are the tablet organisers. Now we're going to talk about stamps. So we haven't done these before with you.
No.
And one of them has already sold out.
I know, thank you. I'm not a paper crafter.
Right.
I don't pretend to be. It's not. I don't enjoy it. Just doesn't interest me. Not actually very good at it.
I don't think I'd be very good at it either.
So these have been. Well, I've designed these to work with fabric. So that's why they're bigger stamps, and there's lots of clean areas on them. So if you're going to use them to cut out fabric shapes for applique and things like that, they're a decent size. So you can stamp onto fabric. You can stamp onto. I don't know, cardstock or MDF, or whatever you like, depending on what kind of ink that you're using. But I've put together a little bundle for the sewer. So the VersaCraft ink is a fabric ink.
Okay, so in the bundle you get... Both the sewing machine stamps have sold out, but we'll go through the others. So in the bundle you get the stamp.
Yep.
And you get the ink.
You get the ink and you get your acrylic block.
Oh, okay.
So, because if you haven't stamped before, you will need... You'll
right,
need
yeah, I haven't stamped before, so...
Okay.
And so you drew these?
Yes.
And then you've had them made into stamps?
Yes.
Brilliant. Oh, hang on, there we go. So you can't really see that, but that's your acrylic block. There's your stamp, and then the ink that you can stamp onto fabric with.
Yep, so you've got everything that you need apart from your fabric to get going.
Right.
I mean, inks are available in lots of different colours. I've just put the black with there because it's going to stand out. And again, you will need a block with that. So I've included the blocks just because if you need to stamp in, you're not going to have one. Yeah.
And is this washable?
It is. If you heat seal it, it's permanent. Now, they do say on the Versacraft supplier's website that it will wash out of fabric. I think it'll wash out while it's wet because I've tried washing it out while it's dry and it hasn't washed out. So just to warn you.
Right. But it is washable. It's not going to bleed through your fabric.
No, if you want to make it permanent, just iron it and then that is permanent on your fabric. You can launder it. So if you're stamping onto fabric like the little skirt that's going to go in the wash because it's clothing, then that's fine. It's not going to go in the wash.
Now, right, these are flying out. So this one we only have 5 left. We're going to whiz through the designs, you see, and then you can show us how to use them.
Yeah.
So that's the 4 left of that one. That's the mannequin in the teacup.
And that one, just to show you, this Rebecca made this one with a plique, with a felt, and then she's French knocked and embroidered and added buttons, and it's just a nice, fun thing to do. And I love a bit of hand sewing, you know. I don't like a lot of hand sewing, but I do find it very relaxing. Oh, sorry, I thought I'd got that sample.
No,
that's the wrong sample.
The teacup
Sorry
one.
about that.
So this is the coffee cup.
Teacup pincushion.
Teacup pincushion. I think it's just because it's taller. It's a latte pincushion. So that's what that one will look like. And obviously, we'll show you in a moment all the different things that you can do with them. But you can use them for paper, fabric, felt.
Yep.
So that's really the teacup and pincushion. So isn't it lovely? Can you see? I love the fact that you don't have to do any thought about the drawing. It's all there. Once it's stamped onto the fabric, you just copy it.
And I mean, you can mass alter the stamps off and just use a particular area. So if you wanted to add more of the flower buds, then just stamp onto that, and then you can kind of repeat them. Get yourself some scrap fabric and have a practice, even if it's an old pillowcase or sheet or something. Practice first and see what you can do with them.
Right, then this one. This is really cute. There's a little bird.
It's a robin.
It's a robin.
Robin with a teacup.
Right. Oh, that one's sold out. I'll just put that one over there. We've got another bird in a teacup, though, so don't worry.
That's the blue tit.
That's the blue tit.
Yep.
In a teacup with a rose.
Yep, and that's the one that Pat's made the cross-stitch picture.
Oh, OK, so she stamped it.
Just to show you another
and then turned it into a chart.
Yeah.
Very clever.
So that was the stamp that she stamped onto her chart and then transferred that onto Ada and cross-stitched it.
Amazing. Sorry, you do get the ink as well. I was just moving out of the way. You do get the acrylic pad, the ink, and the stamp as well for that. So that's the little teacup on the bird. Amazing. Oh, great price, $9.99 as well. And then the last one is the sewing bird, which you've done as an embroidery here.
Yeah, Leslie actually made that one. And again, they're simple designs. So if you just wanted to embroider over the outline, that's absolutely fine.
That's really
simple. And this just showcases the embroidery.
Well, it can be as simple as just embroidering it over it, or you can really embellish it and do the applique. But I think it's lovely like that, really lovely. Beautiful. Right, so those are all the stamps. How do we use them?
Right.
As obviously I am a complete novice to this stamping lark.
When you take the stamps off their package sheet, they're very sticky. They're supposed
to be.
Oh,
OK, so in here, they're just on a sheet and they're sticky.
And save that because you're going to store them on there. So you're going to put that in the centre of your block and that will stick on there. Everything's very transparent, so I thought if it doesn't stand out too much. So get a piece of fabric that you're going to practice with.
So do stamps always come sort of wibbly like this?
Most of them, yeah.
And then you put them on the block?
Yeah, and then they kind of stick to it.
Oh, OK.
To clean them or to wipe the back down, and it kind of reinvigorates, it makes it sticky again.
But yeah, it makes it sticky again.
Just use a baby wipe or a water wipe.
Oh, OK, and then you store them in their wallet,
yeah,
and then they're sticky though?
Yes, they'll stay sticky. They're made from polymer, which is also heat resistant, so you can use heat on them. I don't need to use heat on them if I'm stamping onto fabric, but the clock that Pat made over there, she used Angelina fibres, so those are melted onto the shape with an iron. So she was saying, just to let you know, that they are heat resistant as well.
Okay, right, so should you need to, they are heat resistant.
Okay, so that's stuck on there. You're going to take the pad to the stamp, not the other way around, and just tap it on there.
So the only one that we have stock on now is the long teacup, the teacup pincushion, which is this one here. Same technique for all of them, but that's the only one that we have stock left of now.
So just keep tapping. It's not going to dry out until you've covered the whole of the area of the stamp. And I'd always do a little test first before you commit to whatever it is you're stamping onto, just to make sure that you're clear of, you know, size, what it's going to look like, and that you've covered it all with your ink. So that's all, see it better on there, that's all stamped up now. Don't worry about if you get any kind of over stamping onto the actual body box, that's not going to transfer. And then you'll pop this in position on your fabric and hold it in place, because we don't want it to move around, and then just very gently press down. Now, if you are a paper crafter, you'll probably find that you've got to press down a little bit harder on fabric because it's absorbent, it's drawing the ink in.
Okay.
So give it a good old press, and then when you lift it up,
amazing.
You've got your image there ready to go.
There it is.
Yeah. And then again, you can embroider, you can colour it in, you can buy fabric paint pens and crayons. There's lots of different mediums you can use. Put it into a search engine. There's lots of videos on YouTube for different kinds of techniques. If you want to heat seal that with an iron, that is then permanent. So whether you colour it in or whether you embroider it, or if you're going to cut out all of the different sections and applique it together.
And I guess with a lot, you know, when you get sort of printed embroidery things, that they are permanent.
Yeah.
But you just make sure you stitch over them.
Yes, yes. So if you are stitching, I'm not going to sit and embroider all of this, but it is really quite therapeutic.
Well, also it's so quick, isn't it? It's there.
Yeah.
It's on your. You haven't got to.
Oops, not in the end.
You haven't got to trace over it. It's there.
Yeah, yeah. And just have a play with your stitches, whether it's just a running stitch or a little stem stitch, back stitch, French knots for eyes.
Well, these little designs as well, they're the sort of thing you can put on clothing, like on the pocket or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe on a apron pocket would be nice.
We won't get any more stock of these today, so I'm sorry that we've run out.
They're all gone. Oh dear.
But we will get more. At some point.
We can get more. They just take a few weeks to manufacture. It's not a quick process, but yeah, we'll try and get some more. We've got some different designs in the pipeline as well. But they're not. You know, they're big designs specifically because I want you to be able to sew with them, but they're not huge. So
yeah, so they you know, you've designed them specifically so they can be used for stitching, because often I think, you know, with papercraft they often have smaller designs for little cards, but with stitching, or if you're doing applique, you want them a bit bigger.
Yeah, with papercraft stamps, I did show this to a rather well-known stamper when I first designed them, and she's saying, "Oh, too much space. You can put lots of sentiments all the way around here and fill them all in." So I'm not going to sew sentiments.
I don't know. No, just not.
No, it's all about the sewing. I don't want to tread on any papercrafter's toes like that. I don't, you know, I don't cross over.
That's but this is the point. But you can buy embroidery transfers. You know, it is the way that things are done, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think they're lovely, absolutely gorgeous. And if you really do want to trace over them, you could always print them, stamp them onto paper, and then trace over them if you want to do it with an erasable pen. They're still there, aren't they?
Absolutely. But I just find this quite relaxing with the tablet cover. That took me an evening.
Oh, right. So let me show you. So on the tablet cover, this is what Debbie did with this.
So I picked out the same colours as the fabric.
Oh, okay.
And I just sat there.
It's lovely because it's got a really sort of vintage look to it, doesn't it? It's like a sewing machine on a tablecloth. It has a real beautiful look to it, doesn't it? And so you can use it on things like that. But you know, this ink's going to last for such a long time.
Yes. Make it last a little bit longer by storing it upside down, and then the ink kind of runs to.
Okay.
Ink runs to the bottom. or to the top if it's upside down.
Right, so always store them upside down. Learning loads now, you see. Clearly take no notice of the stamping. I didn't even know how these worked. So I guess you probably, once you've got a few of these stamps, you only need one of these plastic things.
Yes, you would do. And again, when you've finished stamping, just take them, and you can put them under the tap, or just take a baby wipe and just wipe them clean, and then back in the packet, and they're ready for the next one.
Amazing. But each one of these, you're getting one of these.
Yes.
Back.
Yeah. Acrylic blocks.
Acrylic blocks. I need to get the terminology. Yes, you'll get one acrylic block with each of these. Zips. Now, you will need, if you're going to make the tablet keeper, 12-inch zips. Now, zips are a real problem, aren't they? Zips are a real problem to get hold of.
Are they a problem?
To get hold of.
Only dogs can hear me now.
Oh, right. I think they're a real problem to get hold of because trying to get the right colour zip in the right length.
Yeah, I like... Last time I brought the zips, I was saying I like a zip that's too long, and we had a Susie Duncan workshop at my offices a couple of weeks ago, and the girls were really taking the mick out of me. She likes the zips too long. So she does like a zips too long.
No, I do. I always use zips.
Well, they're more useful because then you can cut them down to size.
But it's also easier to sew a zip in.
Yeah, with a slider out the way.
Yes.
And if these have got plastic stops on, but if you've got metal stops, I don't want my sewing machine needle to hit one. So you can move things out the way and just...
Because otherwise you've got to be really exact as well, haven't you?
Yes.
So, and I think they are difficult to get hold of in the right length and the right colours as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, you're getting 10 different colours. They'll vary.
Okay.
But they will all be
different
colours. Yes.
So you'll get 10 colours. So this is the... Should we start with the 12-inch? Oh, the graphics have disappeared. Okay, which ones have you got? Right, sorry, yes, the zips have disappeared. We're just finding them, and then we'll come back to them. They'll come back in a moment. So we'll just go through the bundle for the tablet organiser. Sorry, I'm confused. I'm trying to listen at the same time. So it's the bundle for the tablet organiser. Now, this is the one that, in the fabric that Debbie actually made. Gorgeous, isn't it? And I guess you can choose which way round you go.
Yes.
Because you've got the same amount of fabric.
Yeah.
So if you want the main thing to be
in the dark,
all over print,
you
can
absolutely.
choose. So you get the white fabric for the lining. So you get half a metre of this lovely blue fabric. Love that.
I like the colours of it as well. You know, the blues and the dark blue, it makes it a little bit more versatile, I think, because, you know, there's a lot of men that sew, but they don't want pink.
No, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah, it's just a bit more generic, isn't it?
Oh, do you know, I've got so many cards of buttons of my mum's that are donkeys years old, like little shell ones that I'd forgotten all about. You know, when you see something, all of a sudden you go back
remember
in time.
them, and they're lovely, aren't they? It's
Yeah.
a shame, I don't know, can you still buy them on cards?
I don't know.
I always see, well, in the plates at my local sewing shop, they're all in tubes.
Yeah.
You know, you buy like 10 out of a tube, so I don't know. But they are lovely, aren't they? And they used to have really nice writing and illustrations on them.
And if you pulled the thread on one of them, all the buttons
fell off. Yeah, that's true. But they were all done in cards, weren't they? I always think, wonder how they were sewn on. Maybe they had a special button sewing on machine, or were they all sewn on by hand?
I reckon they were all sewn on by hand, you know.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
That would take a long time. And then that's the white fabric that you get with it. Right, the next bundle is... Oh, no, this one. Oh, we'll do that one then. This is the kind of underwater bundle.
Yeah.
Well, I feel it looks like the bottom of a swimming pool.
It does.
This is very lovely.
Yes.
And this is your rainbow fireworks. But they look, so you could do it either way, couldn't you?
Yeah.
It looks really nice like that. So imagine if you've got your tablet case, you see, it will look just like that.
Yep.
Or the other way around. And then the last bundle. This is lovely.
This is quite masculine, isn't it?
Well, it is, isn't it? And it's not always easy to find those sort of fabrics. And if you want to make one for a man, you know, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you want something...
Men are difficult.
No, they're just difficult in general. Yeah, in general. Hence the new dating agency.
We're in such trouble at the end of the day today.
I know. They have to have special fabrics.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you might want one, like, I like this because it has that real sort of design, arty element to it. So did you say, Hannah, that Seth acts as a papercraft designer? Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay.
Oh, like Tim Holtz. It is a bit Tim Holtz, isn't it? Beautiful. Are they friends? And then a grey for the lining for this. Now, we also have, obviously, all of the bundles have instructions in them. You don't need to buy the instructions separately. They all come together with them. And then we have instructions on their own. Hannah's still lost the zips. They've just run away. They've disappeared. We will find them. We will find them. These are the instructions. Really, really simple, clear to understand. Now, if you get the fabric with them, you've got half a metre of each of the 3 fabrics. More than enough. So this is a really good way, if you buy the instructions on your own, of using up your stash.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you don't have to have the panel on the front. It's just a 10-inch square of fabric, and any fabric that you like. So they could be for anybody, and it's quite a quick make as well. You know, it's not like you put in darts or anything.
Okay.
You know, it's very simple, very quick make.
Right. So do you?
Beginner friendly.
Yes. So you could get this done like in a day.
Yes. Yeah. And as we were talking about kids sewing earlier on as well, that'd be a nice project for a child because they'll be able to use it afterwards.
Yeah,
I think it's nice, you know, that the first thing that you're ever going to make is either useful or giftable.
Well, I think you also remember the first thing that you've made, don't you?
Do you remember the first thing you made?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do. I made my sister a Mr. Bump from felt, and he was blue with feet and everything, and I wrapped tape round him as the bandages, like fine tape, cotton tape, and I really remember that. And then I made my first dressmaking outfit. I made like a red hoodie and toweling. And I really remember that because it was to have made something that I could actually wear was massive. You know, you really feel like you've. That's how I think if your first thing you will remember. Yeah. Or the first memorable thing.
We had to make school uniform dresses at school. They were like a check with a zip up the front.
That's ambitious.
And then cookery basket covers. You used to have a cookery basket. Every Friday we'd be there with this blooming big thing on the bus on your knee.
With a cookery basket cover.
With elastic.
I remember we did make in our needlework lessons, we made aprons, which kind of made sense because then you'd use them for everything else. But a cookery basket cover, that's... Can you imagine going, what are we going to make this year? Don't know.
I dropped out of needlecraft. I did pottery instead.
I did.
I got an O-level pottery.
Well, I did it for a year, and then I'm not doing this anymore because I do it anyway at home. So I did metalwork instead. Much more fun.
Girls weren't allowed to do metalwork in our school.
I was very lucky, very lucky. Anyway, sorry, we're supposed to. Sorry, just chatting. Right, now we do have some patterns for some of your past projects. I love that bag.
Oh, yeah.
I love that bag because I love the pattern on the matching.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I fussy cut all of the pockets so that they all lined up together. I love working things out like this. And to have the 3 pockets all together and they are kind of joined together. I love working out the techniques.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah, it's like a concertina kind of thing. But it's a big bag. So, you know, it's got big pockets inside it, and it's got patch pockets on the inside of it as well.
Oh, it's brilliant, though, isn't it? So, yeah, it's kind of 3 bags all in one go, and pockets as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look that big. It's just expandable.
Yes.
So it's great to take shopping.
It's like an accordion bag, isn't it? So it can be huge.
It'd be great to take shopping, because you could get so much in it.
What am I looking at in the bottom of there that looks like a circle? Can you see that?
Yeah, it's reflected.
It's the camera lens, isn't it?
The camera lens is in the centre. It's because you're looking on the dark. You don't see it when you're on the light, do you? But when you go on the dark, you can see the camera lens. You were thinking, what's in there?
What's that? There's just a bowl in there.
It would be it'd be really stylish as a changing bag.
Oh, well, that's a nice idea.
Because you've got those big pockets, so you could get absolutely loads in it.
Yeah.
But then if you wanted it to not be I mean, it's as big as you want it to be, isn't it? But if you wanted, but it would be quite a stylish changing bag, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So we have got the instructions. Oh, yes, I have.
So this one will take 1/2 metre of the fabric if you're using the tapestry type of fabric.
Right.
Because
so
it's extra wide.
That's the instructions on their own?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're using a 44-inch wide fabric, I'd order 1 metre.
Okay. But because this used the tapestry fabric. It's nice in the tapestry, though, isn't it? Because it gives it that bit of weight, doesn't it? I mean, it's a great bag for... It's a great bag for being organised if you don't put much in it.
Yes.
You have one thing in each pocket. But it's equally a very good bag for if you want to get loads in.
Yeah, so for your travel bag or if you're going to, I don't know, a night class or something like that. I like to be organised. I like lots of pockets. But I think it looks stylish as well. It's just a little bit different.
Well, it does because you've got all that pattern match. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So £9.99 for the pattern. Loads and loads of information in here. We've also got a digital download. No templates, so you don't need to print anything out. It's all measurements. So that's the digital download. Now, we do have a bundle, but in a different colourway because we couldn't get that fabric again. But this is the same but different.
This is lovely as well. So it's the same tapestry. So it's the extra wide.
It is, isn't it? It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is wide.
Yeah. And you'll have enough to fussy cut as well.
Okay, so if you want to do the...
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you really don't want to fussy cut, because obviously the bird, you could fussy cut the bird so it's in the middle and then you wouldn't...
Yeah.
You don't have to worry if you think, oh, I can't do that. Just make sure that that is sort of the central thing and then it doesn't matter. But I think that's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I love the quality of this. It's a proper heavy duty fabric.
Proper carpet bag.
Yes.
You know. My fish casserole soaked through my basket on the double-decker bus. Oh, Christine. Oh. I bet that smelt for a long time. Oh, dear. Yeah, I gave up cookery at the end of the first year as well.
Did you?
Yes. I did woodwork. So instead of needlework and cookery, I did metalwork and woodwork. Much more fun.
Couldn't do that at the grammar school. I'd love to have done woodwork.
Much more fun. There we go.
Girls weren't allowed to play the drums at our school.
Really? Really?
No.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? Isn't that ridiculous?
When you had that big ruler earlier on,
and
you slapped it on the table, that took me back to the grammar school.
Oh, no. Oh, no. I just like the sound of it. I don't think anyone ever did it in our school, though. Oh, dear. Glad I didn't go to your school.
I know.
No woodwork, no metalwork. Right, we've got single figures left of that bundle. Single figures. So not many left of that one. It's a great price, though, $34.95, because that's a big bag. Is there anything else inside it? You've got some
H640 on that one again. I wouldn't use anything any heavier than that, so
in fact, you got
use a
H630.
630 was it? Yeah.
But you could use either, couldn't you?
You could use either. Just don't use...
But don't use Bosal.
Not a Bosal, no.
Because it would be too thick, wouldn't it? And a magnetic snap, and that's all. So that's actually not bad, is it?
Yeah.
Because, you know, for all of that, you just need a bit of fusible fleece, and it creates that. But I guess because the fabric's so thick, it's doing all the work for you, isn't it?
That would be nice with one of those clasps on the front as well, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would, yes. Yeah, that's true. The windmill bag. Let me just move this. Now, we've got 2 bundles. So tell me about the windmill bag.
The windmill bag, I haven't got the actual bag, so I can't find it. But on the back, there's just another option that you can make the bag without a handle, and it turns into a tub. So it's actually made with, these are 5-inch strips. You could use longer if you didn't want to go for the charm pack. And it's made up in like 4 strips that actually look like a windmill when they're sewn together, which is why I called it a windmill bag, because that's kind of what the base looks like.
Oh, so that's how it works. Gosh,
yes.
That's clever, isn't it?
So when you draw all the sides up, it kind of automatically twists around.
It becomes... Yeah, so you would never imagine that when you look at that picture of them all sewn like that, that's what happens.
Yeah. And, of course, you've got the lining works the same way. So you've got this cross at the bottom there as well. I bring my own props these days.
real, so shiny, that plant.
Yeah,
real
healthy plants.
Really healthy. That's about my plants. Debbie, my school was exactly the same. Young ladies were taught to run homes and be domestic goddesses, from Liz. Chris, our director, went, yes, quite right.
I went to a modelling school.
Did you?
Yes, when I was about 17, and the first thing we were taught was how to get in and out of a sports car with a miniskirt on and not flashy knickers.
Well, that's very important.
Yes.
Very important. First, you need a sports car. Yes. Well, that'd be really important, wouldn't it? I can imagine that's quite a skill.
Still use it to this day.
Yeah, yes. Whenever you're in a sports car.
Oh, with a miniskirt on, yeah.
Yeah, and knickers. Without flashing your knickers. Love that bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it. I just have a sports car, though. Does that count as a little mini? Does the same apply, do you think?
That'll do.
I'm going to give it a go. Right, the windmill bag. That's brilliant. I love that. The windmill bag. This kit has got the Cave Bright Hot colours, which is what that one is, isn't
Yeah.
it? So you've got all the pieces. Is there enough to make the bag and the pot then?
No, one
Just
or the other.
one or the other.
Yeah.
You can choose whether you make the little tote bag here or you make the storage pot.
Yeah, the tote bag is basically that with handles on. So it's the same shape and everything.
Oh, I see.
I just thought as I was making up the instructions, so actually you could use
You
that.
could, I see. So
do
it's a
that, yeah.
little tote bag
Yeah.
or it's a pot, you can choose.
Yeah.
So you get 42 of the Cave squares. Beautiful,
They're
love those
fun, aren't
colours.
they?
I know,
Yeah.
they're such lovely colours, aren't they? And you get, it's got a bit of fabric on it, 1/2 metre of, oh, I'm not very, what colour is this one?
Is it orchid?
Could be. No, it's not aubergine. No, they all have names, don't they?
Yeah.
I can't really remember. Yeah, can I have the name, please, Hannah? Anyway, it's sort of a bright purpley colour, which will have a specific name. Magenta, because it's a Rose and Hubble quilting cotton. They've all got names. I can never remember what they are, though. So 1/2 metre of magenta, and then the charm pack and the full instructions for only £29.97, which is a bargain, isn't it? 1st of January. God, were you in New Year's Day?
Yeah.
That was very brave.
Yeah. And not doing anything else.
Oh, would?
No, no.
Well, that's good, isn't it? I was thinking, New Year's Day. Well, that was the last time we had it on, so brought it back specially for you today. We've also got it in another colourway, which is in this gorgeous, I love these blues. Blues and greens.
Yeah, then
I mean, this is the cool colours, but even with Cave, it's still not complete. He
Yeah.
still pops a bit of pink, cheeky pink in there, doesn't he? Be very good for collecting fossils in. So those are all the blues and the greens. And you get 1/2 metre of blue. Don't know what blue that one is.
Cocan, royal.
Could be. I don't know. Some of them I know really well. I like them, but I think there's about 40 of them, so I don't know all the names. So that's that one. Are we ready for zips yet, Hannah? Oh, pattern on its own. So if you want just the pattern on its own, then obviously it's brilliant for using your charm squares or using up your scraps, because you could put, you could just cut 5-inch squares of fabric. So you 30 those, and then you need some fleece, so H640 or any other wadding.
Yep, 30 or 40 will be fine. They're great to use if you've got jelly rolls as well, or 2.5-inch strips.
Oh, okay. Oh, right, because you cut them.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant for jelly rolls as well. So a really nice pattern to have in your pattern library. If you'd rather download it and get making it straight away, then we do have the digital pattern. £9.99 for that, and you can download that one. Okay, are we ready for zips? Something happened to the zips and they disappeared. Are they back? No. Can I get them all out? Right, 18. We're going to start with the 18-inch zips. Right. something happened and they flew into the ether, but they have returned. Oh, good. So you get 10.
Yes, and they'll all be different colours. Can't guarantee which colours they're going to be, but they'll all be different colours.
Okay, so they're 3mm zips.
Yes.
Continuous coil.
Yes.
But they will be different colours. Previously sold out. $14.99 is a great price for an 18-inch zip. £1.49 for an 18-inch zip. They will all be in different colours, so it's an absolute bargain.
And go for the longer ones. At least if you've got an 18-inch zip, you can make it 12-inch, you can make it 10, you can make it 3 inches, you can make it any length that you like. Just cut them down.
Exactly. And it's just so annoying when you haven't got enough zips. And they're just one of those things that I think are really hard to get hold of in different colours and different sizes. I managed to destroy an oven during cookery O-level exam. A tablespoon of bicarb instead of a teaspoon in my gingerbread. Hated it. From Sue in Gloucestershire. I know, it's a shame. Well, I gave up cookery in the first year. I just didn't like it. And then our cookery teacher ran an after-school club for girls like me who'd given it up. And it was girls like me. I remember public humiliation at cutting an orange the wrong way to make orange juice. Like, who knows?
Oh.
But actually, it was a lot better because she was actually quite nice to us because we were just there after school. No hopers, clearly. We did a Christmas cake at the end, fully iced, made even our marzipan and everything. But I think she just treated us a bit, because it wasn't compulsory then, for the no-hoper girls like me who'd never done cookery. Just too much stress. I found it often, I'm sure there were lots of very lovely cookery teachers, but I found it quite stressful. I love the gingerbread story, though. Anyway, that's the 18.
I was told in a careers advisory type of lesson, I said I wanted to be a policewoman. And she said, no, you'll never be a policewoman. You like animals, you should work on a farm.
That's brilliant. Hannah was told she shouldn't do a language because she struggled enough with her own. Who says these things to people? That's really funny. What do you mean were you speechless at school, Hannah? That's really funny, honestly. Do share your stories with us. Because it is very funny, the things that you get told off for. I got told off for everything. I spent a lot of my life outside the class. But my dad was a teacher at the school, so that was unfortunate. Because often he saw me. I'm very unfortunate. But there we go. Now, 12-inch zips. Getting really distracted. Especially because Hannah's struggling with her own language at the moment. So 99p. 99p for a zip. What a bargain. All different colours as well. There we go. And you need, what size do you need for the tablet case?
12 inches.
12.
For those.
So,
yeah.
That's the second time I've done that. So if you get the pack of zips, the 12-inch, they will all fit in there. Or you can get the 18-inch and cut them down. It's entirely up to you.
Is it funny how you work harder for the teachers that you like?
Yes. Yes, you do.
I used to really enjoy maths until I used a Harmony hair colour and decided to go red.
Oh, I loved a Harmony. I had that kind of aubergine one, you know, the sort of burgundy one that ridiculous.
Might have been the
soft,
but I ended up with this red patch on top of my head because it didn't quite work properly.
Love the Harmony hair.
And my maths teacher walked into the classroom and just said, Deborah Bagshaw, what have you done to your hair? And that was it.
And that was it.
Failed maths.
My dad was my maths teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was very strict, but at least I passed.
Yes, good job.
At least I passed. Oh, no.
Yeah,
I know sometimes people said terrible things, didn't they? But then you had lovely teachers who said nice things. And
did you?
Encouraged you. I did have some really nice teachers who did say nice things, but yes, a lot of them not, because I was very naughty. Me and my best friend were always being told off for laughing. Jan, that's so mean. So was I. I was always sat outside the class, told off for laughing. Like, Rebecca, stop playing with that Rubik's Cube. Why can't you play with a Rubik's Cube during lessons? Ridiculous, wasn't it? I did CSE domestic science. We had a flat attached to the classroom. I had to cook a meal and clean the flat. What? Who lived in the flat, Rosemary? Whose flat were you cleaning? Sounds like modern slavery. You had to clean the flat. That's hilarious.
Kids today don't know they're born, do
I
they?
know. What did you get? Cleaning CSE. Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Oh, dear. Right, the bundle for the... I can't get over that. Who lived in that flat? The bundle for the tablet case is here. So, the bundle for the tablet case, this one, you get half a metre of the navy fabric, half a metre of the pale blue fabric with all the sewing notions on, and half a metre of the white fabric, and full instructions as well. It's all there. Fabulous.
And you'll have a bit left over as well.
Yes.
So if you wanted to make a matching pencil case or another zip pouch or something, there is leftover fabric.
And the instructions are in the instructions for making that as well.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
Just threw that in for
So
you.
many things in here. It's fabulous. Do keep checking out on those. I'm very sorry. Keep checking out on those. Sorry, all of the stamps have sold out, but you will bring them back.
Yes.
One day.
So we've got some new ones in the pipeline as
have
well.
you?
They just take a few months to actually have manufactured.
Right. So when you get those back and then
Yes.
the new ones, then you'll come back and
Yes.
do them. Fabulous. Thank you, Debbie. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, thank you.
Love all your stories. School stories. Please do keep sending yours in so I can just laugh. It's the cleaning the flat one.
Did you ever have a pet at school that you got to take home in the holidays? I got really attached to that stick insect.
Really? We did have one. I can't remember what it was though. Hamster, guinea pig, maybe. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, we did have a pet that you took home in the holidays. Oh my God, I've forgotten about that. Yeah. I'm surprised all these animals actually lived, given to children for the holidays. You know, we had a tortoise actually. Did have a tortoise. I remember that. Anyway. I'll just talk amongst yourselves. So we'll see you next time. When are you back in?
16th of March.
Okay, we'll see you 16th of March. I will see you back here in a few minutes' time with Lucy, and we're going to do the snuggle blankets. We're going to learn all about how to quilt with fleece, which is quite good actually, because it saves all of that layering and tacking and everything. It's quite a good effect, and some gorgeous bundles anyway. So I'll see you back here in just a few minutes.
Never miss a show by watching on the go with the Sewing Street app. Head over to your App Store now and search Sewing Street and simply download to your smartphone or tablet. You can watch the shows live and see your favourite presenters and guests. Click on the Today button to shop all of the products that are featured in today's show. Want to know what's hot? Then click here to see today's bestsellers and highlights. Have you missed a show or want to watch one back? Then click the schedule button and you can go back 7 days to watch and shop, and you can also see what's coming up over the next 7 days. Want to say hello or ask a question to our guests? Then send a message to the studio. You can also keep in touch with all the latest news, events, product launches and much more by clicking here for our social media pages. Never miss a show by watching on the go with Sewing Street.
Charm Pack, or 5-inch squares. A charm pack is a bundle of pre-cut fabric squares, usually 5 inches by 5 inches. Each piece comes in different patterns and colours that match perfectly. They're great for quilts, patchwork, or any small sewing project. No cutting or matching needed. So next time you are looking for a quick and easy way to start a sewing project, why not try a charm pack?
Our UK-based call centre is always on hand to assist you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletter. Go to sewingstreet.com and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage. Type in your email address and click the envelope. That's it. You'll never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Shopping with Sewing Street couldn't be easier. You can shop via our website at www.sewingstreet.com, where you can watch our live shows and see all the products from that day. We also have a huge amount of products on our website, from your sewing room essentials to fabrics, sewing machines and much more. You can download and shop on the go with our Sewing Street app. Simply head over to your app store and search Sewing Street. Alternatively, you can contact our UK-based call centre 24 hours a day on 0800 001 4433. Shopping made easy at Sewing Street.
Here at Sewing Street, we only charge one P&P throughout the day. You can add as many items to your basket and check out and still only be charged once. Once you've checked out the first time and want to order again, you simply add the item to the basket and click on the Combine Order button. Remember, standard P&P is £4.95. Charges may differ for outside the UK. Or upgrade to our premium option for £6.95 on certain items. Shopping made easy at Sewing Street. Now, normally when you sew two pieces of fabric together, you sew them together, right sides together, and open the fabric up. We, however, are doing a French seam, which means that all of the raw edges are encased within the seam. So, we don't do it the normal way. This is how we do it. So, instead of sewing your fabrics right sides together, you sew them wrong sides together within the seam allowance. Then what you do is you then take the whole seam, you would press it, and you will turn it round. So you now sew along the seam, but having the right sides together. So what you've done is you've encased your raw edges in here, you've created your normal seam from the right side, but on the wrong side, all of your raw edges are all encased within the French seam. A lot of people are terrified by French seams. You don't need to be at all. They're really haute couture, and they turn your garment from being homemade to made with love.
Looking for the perfect gift for the sewing enthusiast in your life? The Sewing Street gift card is just the thing. Choose between a physical card delivered to their door or a convenient e-gift sent straight to their inbox. It's easy. Just head to the Sewing Street website, scroll to the bottom of the page, click Gift Cards, or use your smartphone and scan the QR code and go straight there. Pick the amount you'd like to load onto the card, and that's it. The Sewing Street gift card, the gift of creativity made simple.
Every day, our experts will bring you a wealth of knowledge. They'll take you through the steps of making projects, and we feature fabulous tips along the way. Whether you're new to sewing or a seasoned pro, you're sure to learn something new. We're live every day from 8 AM till 1 PM, and you can also watch back all of the demonstrations featured on the show on our YouTube channel.
Welcome back to Sewing Street. So I've got a fab project from Lucy. I absolutely love this. So this project, we've got the kits for it. It's a beautiful blanket. Look at this. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's absolutely ideal for a new baby. They could lie them on the carpet. It's quite nice to go on. Lovely to go on over if they're in the car, in a car seat, or in a cot, or just to wrap them up, or just as one of those gorgeous comfort blankets. So on the front of it, it's a very simple, very simple, quick beginner quilt. You've got this sample that Lucy's made has got the pink, Guess How Much I Love You fabric, and then we've got the bundle that's in the graphics for it. Now, with this one, it's all brushed cotton. It's so soft. It's just gorgeous, so soft. It's the sort of blanket that you would make somebody and the mum would be so pleased. They would keep it forever. It's a proper comfort blanket. Now, in the kit for this one. Obviously, you get full instructions. You get the 3, guess how much I love you, brushed cotton fabrics. They are all beautiful. And then for the backing, we've put in a white brushed cotton. We're going to talk about fleece at the moment, but in a minute. But for the moment, we've put a white brushed cotton that you use for the backing. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a shame you can't feel them. But I love the colour because it's not a really baby sickly pink. It's quite a grown-up pink. Corally lobster sort of. But it's quite a grown-up pink.
It is, yes.
I think that's beautiful. Now, we have only got 10 of this bundle left, okay, already. So I'm just warning you. That is absolutely gorgeous. So that's that bundle. Oh, you can also, there's enough fabric to make a matching cushion. How lovely is that? Gorgeous, isn't it? So there's enough fabric to make the matching cushion as well. So you've got the blanket and the matching cushions. The finished size is... Oh, do you know what the finished size is?
I do.
Oh,
82
brilliant.
by 82
Oh, is it on there?
for the blanket.
Right, so it's a 32-inch square or 82 centimetres for the blanket, and the cushion is a 12-inch square. There we go. Really, really. This, you get this white brush cotton.
And do you know, want to know how I store mine? Inside my popping bag that matches.
Oh, okay. Obviously, because it's a nice little blanket, isn't it? Well, it's the sort of blanket, it's small enough that you could put it in your changing bag, so that if you wanted to put it on the floor, because if you're going to somewhere to change the baby, or you just want to lay them down.
Yeah.
But it's also lovely for putting over a car and a car seat.
Absolutely. But then also the horrible side of having a child is when that they are vomiting. Mm. It's small, it's light, throw it in the wash, it's going to be just fine. 30-degree wash. Hang it over your banister to dry. It's going to be dry.
Well, it's all 100% cotton.
Yeah.
So it's going to wash absolutely fine. And I think it's very unusual. You wouldn't find something like this to buy. I think because of these colours, because it's brushed cotton, with this beautiful sort of corally pink. It's just gorgeous. Love it. And I think it's the sort of thing a toddler would just keep and love.
Well, it's that sensory thing, isn't it, that a little one likes. They love to rub the fabric against the face and things like that, don't they?
Right, we've only got 7 of that kit left. So let me go through the other colourways for you. So the blue one. So with this one, you've got blue moon, blue moon, blue moon, pink moon, bunny, all the... There we go. So we've got all of the animals. And I guess you can choose what fabrics you put where.
You can, and I actually spent quite a bit of time fussy cutting to make sure where we've got those strips of fabric, we've got a nice row of bunnies.
Yeah.
All in the same.
Or you could put this as the squares, and I mean, it's all...
Yeah, absolutely, because it's a non-directional print. You see the cream one that's there, it's non-directional.
Right.
But what I actually did was carefully thought about the squares that I wanted and then made sure I laid them in the way that suited my wants and wishes, really.
These are gorgeous. And then for the backing, you've got this lovely, like, it's like a dark duck egg blue.
Oh, yeah, I mean, do you sell that by the metre? Because I'd make a shirt out of that as well.
Yeah, I think we used to, but I think we might have put it all in this bundle.
It's a gorgeous colour, very, very nice.
And I love this one because it's very unisex. You know, you've got a bit of pink, bit of blue, you've got a bit of neutral, you've got the blue background. Beautiful. Loads of you have got that one in baskets. I know it's difficult to choose. I mean, and the fact that these are all brushed cotton, I think they are glorious, aren't they?
It's beautiful to sew with.
It's so soft, isn't it?
It's so soft, but when you're putting 2 pieces of fabric together, right sides together to sew them, It's like they just sit together. You pin them, obviously, still, but you actually don't need to. It just
because they just
stay
cling
together.
Oh, I think that is gorgeous.
Great for beginners.
Right, now the bundle that Lucy's working with the demo, so you'll be able to see it in action. So this one could be not baby, or it could just be not baby prints. These are brush cotton. They are art gallery fabrics. $49.99 for this one. And so, Art Gallery and Riley Blake. So if you wanted one that could be obviously used for baby, but isn't baby, so this could be a little lap quilt.
Absolutely.
So you've got this gorgeous little ochre cross. Then you've got a houndstooth check in green. I love these. They're like sort of lined squared paper.
Lovely.
And then the blue in a check. What a lovely mixture. So you'll see in a moment, because Lucy's working with them, and you get the full instructions with that. So if you want a blanket that's not really baby, you want it just a bit more grown up, or you don't want to use it for a baby, then this is the one for you. Remember, you can make the whole blanket and you can make the cushion as well. Yeah, I've done all the bundles now, haven't I? Right, pattern on its own. $9.99 if you want just the pattern on its own. Now you don't have to use a brush cotton. Obviously we've used a brush cotton for our bundles, but you don't have to. It works just as well in a normal cotton, and we'll talk about the fleece backings in a minute as what you want to put on it, but you can just use this very simple, easy to make, but really lovely. I think it's going to be something that everyone's going to love. Just $9.99, and it's got the instructions for the blanket and the cushion as well. Now that's the printed instructions. And then if you want the digital download, so you get them straight to your computer, we've got that too. $9.99. So if you buy that one, that will just be sent straight to you as a PDF, and then you can print it at home or just read it off of your computer. Right, can we talk about backing? Now, we've got a real selection. So obviously, if you've bought the bundle, of the fleece, so if you've bought the bundle, you will get the backing fabric in the brush cotton in it. But if you've bought just the pattern, you'll need to buy these. But this is a brilliant alternative to using just a plain fabric, is using fleece. Now, you might have heard people talk about this before. I've often have questions that you send in and say, can I use just fleece? How does it work? How do you do it? Yes, you can. Now, look, this blanket that Lucy made, she didn't use the backing fabric, the brush cotton. She just used a fleece in the bundle. Now, the great thing about it is obviously you're not using 3 layers. You're not using wadding and backing fabric. You're just using the fleece to back the blanket. And it makes it really, really soft. It's just sort of snuggly, isn't it?
It is.
And there's something about the fleece, when it's with the cotton fabric, it feels almost thinner. It's not sort of chunky and lumpy, but it is just beautiful. You get that really lovely soft feel to it. So this fleece is, this is a 1.5 metre bundle, which is enough for backing the blanket. 1.5 metres. I mean, it is beautiful. It is super velvety soft. So, you know, you can get some fleeces that I suppose are probably made for making sweatshirts and things that are quite, well, not rough, but they're quite a bigger pile. Whereas this feels like velvet, like velour, but it's a fleece. I mean, this as a blanket on its own for a baby would be great, just hemmed around the edge. But if you mix it with the cotton patchwork front, it's gorgeous. I think it's well worth getting. $11.97, and that's a 1.5 metre bundle. But we have only got 9 of them left, and they are flying out. So you need to be quick. If you're thinking about making a baby blanket or just a blanket for the sofa, something that you can take in the car with you, I would recommend get yourself some fleece because it's so snuggly, and get the pattern as well. So that's the cream fleece. Pink. I love this rose pink. Now, half of the stock has gone on pre-order. Isn't that lovely? 2. We've got 2 of these bundles left. Remember, these are 1.5 metre bundles. So I think the width of this is 1.5 metre. It's quite wide, isn't it? Right, so this is a square piece. So this is lovely for blankets, where, you know, whether it's for you're going to use it for a baby blanket or whether it's something that you want to have on your sofa. Do you still use wadding if you use a fleece backing, says Heidi?
In this particular pattern, the answer is no. It's got enough warmth in it. If you want to add a layer, then you can, of your 80-20. But I would also think about whether that might be a bit too much heat if it's for a young child.
Yeah, but even if you're using it, you don't need to. You can add wadding, but you don't.
It doesn't require it. It's not going to add anything other than weight and more warmth. But I.
And this is the joy of using fleece. If you don't, you only do 2 layers, so much easier.
And the purpose of this quilt in particular is about being beginner friendly and a relatively quick make. To be honest with you.
So you can use wadding, but you really don't need it. So that's the pink. Should we do the navy? I love this navy. Navy, so no, we can't do the navy because that one's gone. Right, so these are slightly different. These aren't the... So this one is different. It's not, it doesn't have that same velvety, but it's still fleece and it will still work. It's still very, very soft and it will still work beautifully because it's quite it's a very short pile. You do get different fleeces, like Sherpa fleece is really sort of curly and fluffy, but this is a lovely fleece. £8.47. So because it doesn't have the velvety feel, it's a lower cost, but this is still lovely. Beautiful. £8.47. So you are getting a square piece of fabric. I mean, just to make one of these for the back of the car would be lovely. And I think, you know, if you've already bought the bundle and you think, oh, actually I want to put fleece on the back, you'll have all of that backing brushed cotton that you can use for something else. It's worth getting. £8.47 for that. Fantastic price. Also, if you're doing another quilt and you just want to have a go, if you think, well, let me have a go, I've never done fleece before with quilting, you might find maybe you're making a lap quilt or quilt for the car, get your pattern and just have a go with it. You've got fabric in your stash, so you could buy the pattern on its own and have a go with it. Because use up the fabric in your stash, but do get the fleece, honestly, it's so lovely. So that's the tan brown. Then we've got the chocolate brown. Now, obviously, it depends what fabric you're putting with the front, but these darker colours are ideal because they don't show up the dirt.
You can also put those 3 that you've got together, if you wanted to, mix and match them for clothing.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because they look really nice together, don't they? Yeah. Right, we've only got 8 of this one in the brown. It's like milk chocolate coloured. But again, get the pattern, get some of the fleece, and even if you don't buy the kit but you just want to use your own fabric, if you've never done quilting with fleece before, give it a go. And if it's on something like a small blanket like this, then it's a good place to test. And then the last fleece we've got is this silver. And now this goes with everything, doesn't it? It's just a nice, neutral colour. Right, only got 2 of those left. We've got loads of those in baskets. Right, the pattern on its own. There we go. I've got fluff everywhere now. Right, there we go. There's the pattern on its own. If we've got the pattern and we wanted to make it bigger, is that easy enough to do?
I haven't overly thought about it, but I can't see why not, given it's just squares. Or you could make it, so you can either make those pieces bigger or make it on repeat.
Just make, so take that design, because it is a lovely design.
Yeah, and make
it's simple, but it's really effective.
Yeah.
once you've read the instructions and gone through, it all makes sense how you do it. And remember, in the quilt, you get the instructions for the cushion as well. But there's no reason why you can't repeat this and make it bigger if you want to. There we go. Use fabric from your stash. I mean, the brush cotton is gorgeous to use, but get the pattern. Use fabrics from your stash. It's nice and simple. The fabric does the talking, and you might have fabric in your stash that you really want to showcase, but this is a really, really clever way of framing pieces of fabric to make something that's quite quick and easy as well. And if you've bought the fleece, then you've got your fleecy blanket. So £9.99 for the printed pattern. Right, so where do we start with this one then, Lucy?
Well, we've got the cushion and obviously we've got the quilt, and I'd like to do both of them.
Okay.
I'm going to do the cushion first because it's going to take me minutes to make it, really.
Right, okay. Well, it's lovely that you get both of them because they both come in the pattern.
Yeah.
For £9.99 you get the cushion and the blanket.
And the technique for making the cushion might be something that you haven't seen before. And if you are scared of zips or buttonholes or anything like that, I'm going to take all those worries away from you. Okay. So we've got our pieces of fabric. Oh, pin those together. We have got our piece of fabric, which I've already started preparing because, like I say, this is about being an easy make for you, particularly if you are new. I want you to succeed in that. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 pieces of fabric you're just going to join together. So you'll see I've just joined the striping just here in the middle. Again, you decide how you want them to be. If you want a different layout, then you can have a different layout. But they're all connected, and I've pressed my seams inwards on this piece, inwards on this piece, but then outwards here. And what I want to do is now connect them all together to make that finished top. So I'm going to lay them right sides together, and I'm just going to look to make sure that those seams run in line with one another. And when I'm happy, just flip it back just to double check. I'm going to pin it, just so it sits nice and still. I'll pull this one back, just giving this a little pull there because it didn't quite meet. If I just give it a little pull, it's less than 1 millimetre, but that'll just help it sit into place. And then I can pin the ends and sew at 1/4 of an inch. Straight along, and as soon as that's done, then I can go ahead and press it. Don't be worried about ironing with it at all, it will be totally fine. I haven't starched anything on this fabric. It sits quite nicely just on its own. No need to lock those stitches by reversing on the ends. So I shall take those out. And I'm just going to press that upwards by setting the seam first in the same way you would when you're doing any sort of quilting activities. And there we go, we're nicely lined up there. Give it a jolly good iron. If it goes a little bit over on one end or the other, don't worry at all. There is some flexibility in this. And I'm going to lay this one over. Again, those seams should nest in with one another because they're pressed into the opposite direction. And they'll just feel comfortable underneath your finger as you press. So again, just going to pin that into place and then stitch straight across at my 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. I'm rushing, so I'm about to put a little tuck in, so I'm just going to stop and manipulate my fabric quick before we go too off piece. And there we go, give that a little press again. Removing the pins and press it upwards. Now, we're not going to put anything behind this, as in, again, I'm not going to wad it. Now, it's not to say you can't, because you can. If you'd like to add any detailing on top, then you can. And just like I showed in the pop-in hour, you can use your creative rulers and use a 45-degree line to get a lovely cross-hatching design on it like I have done on the sample. It will make it look very lovely, I promise. So under normal circumstances, now I would be squaring that up to make sure it's absolutely right. Then here comes the clever bit. We're going to take 2 squares of our fleece, like so. There's no right or wrong side to this, not to the best of my knowledge. And I'm going to fold one piece in half. I'm going to take those raw edges and I'm going to lay it against one side of the fabric. Now you may wish to put on your walking foot because I might have a bit of slippage now. I'm just going to carry on as I am and run the risk. Whatever happens, it's not going to show in the end anyway. But yeah, you've got more time than me, you've got the tools, pop on your walking foot. And it'll just make sure these fabrics don't creep all over the place. So now that's pinned into place, and I'm going to sew straight down this side.
So when you're sewing with this fleece, do you need to do anything like special about stitch length or?
No, not at all. Now when I'm working with the polar fleece or any of the fleeces and I'm doing the quilting element, then I will turn up my stitch length. My thread's just misbehaved. It's just misbehaved. So I'm just going to quickly, I'm going to do exactly what I've just told you to do. And I'm going to just take a moment because it's worth it. Sometimes when we're sewing, we fight against these things, don't we? We think,
so
oh no.
If you want to get the, just while Lucy rethreads the machine, if you want the instructions on their own, you get the instructions for the quilt and the cushion. So this is a really good way of using up the fabrics you've got. Obviously, Lucy's used brushed cotton in hers, which is great. You don't have to use brushed cotton. You don't have to use fleece on the back, but it's nice. It makes it more snugly. Once you've worked out the pattern and you can see exactly how it increases and increases. If you want to make it bigger, you can. But for $9.99, it's just a really, really good way of getting a simple pattern. Because sometimes it's like the best patterns are the ones that are just like the really simple and let the fabric talk for themselves. If you're brand new to quilting as well, start off with something small. Start off with something that's just squares and strips, and it's much easier to do. We also have the digital download, so if you want to print it at home, and you're thinking, I've got some fleece, I want to do this. I mean, do you know, to be honest, you could use fleece for the front as well. You can use fleece for patchwork, it doesn't just have to be for the back. So if you want to get the digital download, that's the code that's on the screen now. Are you all sorted?
I am. Do you ever do that thing where you're fighting against, you know what you should be doing?
Yes.
You know, but you're like, no, I can beat this. You can't.
And then you look, and then you go all the way along and you turn it over and you realise that all the seam is loopy because you knew it didn't sound right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, regular.
You should have listened. Listened.
Regular basis.
Okay, so now we are going to sew this piece on top, and we're going to sew our left hand side. Okay, so we've got one bit
folded in half.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now the other piece is going to go directly over, and we're going to pin it. I always think it's not going to work when I do this. You think, no, that can't make sense. That can't be right. And it is.
Look, I can see now how...
Have you seen this technique before?
I can see how it's going to work, but when you first started, I was thinking, that looks really wrong to me.
Yeah, yeah. So now
we say though. I'm glad I didn't.
Now we're going to sew a pin across the top.
You know, I can see it up. I was thinking, why are you sewing that? And I thought maybe it was going to like turn inside out and some magic.
It's really good because I know that we normally say if you don't like doing buttonholes, then do an envelope back. But then people are like, yeah, but the envelope back gapes, and I don't like it when it gapes. Honestly, this is going to be. You're going to be amazed. Well, I hope you're amazed.
You will. You will be amazed.
So I'm just going to pin that side. Honestly, this is the quickest cushion.
Well, also, you don't have to hem it either.
No.
That's the other thing.
No.
Well, I'm not going to show the back and finish cushion because it will ruin the surprise. I was just having a look myself, but I'm not showing you because it'll ruin. I want Lucy to show you when she does the great reveal how it works.
Well, I think we should take the inside out of that one, which, by the way, is not a cushion pad because I didn't have one.
Yes, it's making a very crinkly noise.
Yeah, I think
This
it's
is
just
the
some wadding I put in.
cushion I've ever seen. This would be really annoying.
Sometimes you just got to work with what you've got, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's the crinkle.
So I'm just sewing around.
Yeah, you would put cushion pad in yours. I thought it was a bag of oven chips. Got that kind of crinkle sound to it. I'll tell you what it has got in it. It's got a bag of wadding.
Nearly that.
It's just the crinkle that... Always have a cushion to match a blanket anyway, very important.
Yes.
Right.
Well, they're really good to have in the car as well. I know we talked about the blanket, but the cushions are...
Oh, I always
do you
used
want
to
a
have mine.
snooze?
I made a fleece cushion for each of mine. They had the same fabric, but different colours, and they all had them, and they used to sit on the back parcel shelf.
Yeah.
They all had them in the car.
Saves having to roll your coat up against the window, doesn't it? I've overshot a little bit in places, but like literally I'm doing the speediest little sew here. So you've done that, and then all you do is you reach inside this edge you didn't sew.
Right.
You turn it through. I've missed an edge.
Oh.
That'll teach me. That'll teach. No, I've got to go back. I've got to fix it. I've got to go back and fix that.
Yeah, please do go through and check out, because there's loads of you who've got it in your basket. Now you've realised how fab it is. I'm just seeing if the blanket fits in the cushion. Because, say you were putting this in the car.
Yeah.
This was Hannah's idea. I won't claim this to be my own. This cushion is actually the blanket storage. It does mean that once you take the blanket out, you haven't got a cushion. But there we are. Then you can put someone's coat in it. but the quilt fits inside the cushion. Look at that. And doesn't make a crinkly sound. See, look, Lucy.
Ah, yeah. Brilliant.
It just means that when you take the quilt out, you've got a flat cushion.
Right, so back to where I was. You turn that through. You push your corners out. You flip this bit up and over. You find another hole you've missed. We turn a blind eye to it. Nobody's paying attention to the TV
Yes, if you follow the instructions correctly,
yeah,
it's really easy to do.
It really is. I mean, like I said, I'm just going for the quick make to show you. But honestly, isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? So nice. So nice.
Yeah, so basically that sort of unhemmed edge sits right up in the top, so it will not gape.
Yeah. Absolutely. So there's no gaping involved whatsoever.
That is a brilliant technique. It's all explained in the instructions. When you've got your instructions, you'll know exactly how to do it. Fabulous. Thank you very much for that.
And that's how you do that. My needle could do with a bit of a change.
Right, so if we're going to make the blanket,
yes,
simples.
It is. We have got, as you can see from the layout already, very few pieces to put together. And to be honest, I've put the diagram in. I'm not even sure you needed it, to be honest.
Oh, a diagram's always good.
But we're all different. The first thing I do is I get my pieces out, cut them all out, and I will literally lay it on the floor. Because we tell ourselves we're not going to forget, we will get it right, and then we'll piece it together wrong.
Yes.
So let's just not try and be clever about that. So I've got my corners done already. With this green fabric, be mindful as well that this blue print, I'm only saying this because I don't know why, somehow I didn't notice the obvious, that the blue stripe is only going in one way. So if you want it to be all in the same way, just be mindful of that. If it doesn't interest you, then that's fine.
Just go random.
Just go random. So we're going to lay those out like so.
This is great value. So $9.99, you're getting the cushion and the blanket all in the same pattern. What a bargain.
So this is going to be the starting point where we're literally simply going to be adding a short side to one edge, and we're going to do that on repeat for all of our 4 main squares. When that's pressed outwards, we're then going to add our next row, going the full length, and we're going to press it outwards. All we then need to really do on the top and the bottom row is add ourselves in one of these panels. So that goes like so. I feel like I'm super simplifying this, but it really isn't that hard. Just
yeah, but you see, that's the most. It doesn't have to be difficult to be good, does it?
Absolutely. We underestimate simplicity sometimes.
I know. Well, when you think of the simplest original patchwork quilts, they were just squares and that was it.
Yeah.
Wasn't anything else fancy on them, but they were effective because of the fabrics that were used.
Definitely, definitely. So that is just going to get connected like that. Shh. Cut it a bit short, but we'll turn a blind eye to that. I can work with that. We're not going to worry. I'll blame my mum again, shall I? Yeah, I don't know why I did that. Okay, so that's just going to get laid over the edge here. Now, whether you join this piece to this piece first or whether you join it to that side, it's neither here nor there. I'm just going to centralise it a little bit so I can... In fact, like I mentioned, it's got a little bit of give in it, so I can just pull it a little bit to get it to where I want it to be. Overall, if you ever needed to trim anything down to make it fit, it won't have... It's not like dressmaking, is it? Where
it doesn't blankets do not need to fit. $49.99 for this bundle. So this features the art gallery and Riley Blake brushed cottons. I love this combination. I mean, this is what patchwork's all about. It's got a bit of a check, a bit of a stripe, a bit of a cross. And the pattern, obviously.
So we're just on repeat now, really.
I think it's these beautiful printed brush cottons are not easy to get hold of either, because the fabric manufacturers, they don't do many collections in brush cotton.
And I don't know why. This is my first experience of ever using these fabrics.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
It really, really is lovely.
I made a whole penguin quilt from brush cottons. I bought the pattern first. And it took me ages to find all the brush cottons to make it.
Really?
And
I wonder why that is.
I don't know why. It took me ages and ages. And not many people do them. I think each fabric company sort of bring out one range with brush cottons. I don't know. Maybe people don't use them. But talking about if you want some more for your stash, how about this? 1.5 metre piece of the hedgehogs. Now, in America, they call it flannel, and in England, we call it brush cotton. It is the same thing. So if you see flannel, or if you're searching for it, put in either flannel or depends who's supplying it. But flannel and brush cotton are the same thing. It's taken me a long time to work out that. Kept thinking...
That's new to me today.
Really?
That's the thing I've learned today.
Well, I'd be like, what is this? I can't find brush cotton. So if you buy... flannel sheets, sometimes they're called brush cotton. So
and I've been thinking of it as being flannel this whole time, and then you were saying it as brush cotton. I'm thinking, oh, have I...
Well, it's just like wadding and batting, isn't it?
Yes.
Same thing.
Yes.
I always say wadding.
Absolutely.
Anyway, look, this is 1.5 metre piece. Gorgeous. I love the... oh, sorry, on the overhead. I love the colour of this. It's like Wedgwood blue, isn't it? That's official proper fabric. Beautiful. So it's licensed by the Guess How Much I Love You illustrator. How much do you love it? All the way to the moon and back. And then I used to say, and again.
Said little nut brown hair.
Yeah.
Very cute, isn't it? Very cute.
All the way to the moon and back.
It's a timeless collection.
I do have some other brush cotton as well. I've got the plain in this lovely corally pink. Oh, that's sold out? No. Oh. How about the panels? Can we do these? Now, these are lovely. these are not brush cotton or flannel. These are plain cotton, but these are for people who love Guess How Much I Love You and want something to go with it. So maybe you've bought the kit and you're going to make the snuggle blanket and you're thinking, oh, well, actually, I'd like to make something else for this new baby to go on the nursery.
Or the Winton collection, it had that final basket that I didn't make. They could be your panels.
Oh, that's true. So you've got the border across the top. Now, this isn't a panel, is it? Isn't it half meterage? Oh, it is. Okay. Sorry, I thought it was meterage. So you've got the strip that goes to the top that says, Guess How Much I Love You. I love you as high as I can reach. I love you as high as I can hop. I love you right up to the moon and back. That's beautiful, isn't it? $9.99 for that. If you buy, because they are actual panels, so if you buy more than one, they will come as individual panels. But you could cut them up, you could make another quilt, you could use this and put in with the other ones, all sorts of things you can do. They are licensed, so you can't sell anything made from them, but obviously you can gift or keep. Whatever, but you can't sell anything. With licensed products, that's always the same. Then we've also got the panel in blue. There we go. Exactly the same in blue. Again, I love the blue that they've chosen with this. It's a really lovely Wedgwood blue, and I love the pink. It's a coral pink. It's not sort of really pastel-y. It's got a bit of body to it.
Same as the neutral colour that's in those panels. It's not a cream.
No, it's not.
Beige. It's like a biscuit, isn't it?
It's like a custard cream.
Well, a brown custard cream.
So that's that panel. Oh, there's only 6 of those left. So you need to be quick on that one. They'll be sold out. Right, the pattern for this, for the quilt and cushion, snuggle up for the whole, you get the pattern for both the cushion and the blanket with that one, $9.99. There we go. How are we getting on, Lucy?
Fine.
Well, she's piecing it.
Oh, I've done the very worst sewing I possibly could today. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's just one of those days, isn't it?
It's coming together.
It was a very cold morning.
It's coming together, just not beautifully.
Right.
Could I have a small ruler so I can cut a row?
Yes, you can. Don't worry, I've just left you to find a ruler. But if I don't get one, Lucy's not going to have one.
I'll show you what I've
done. Oh,
I've
got it stuck. I can't.
Done that. See that horrific sewing at the bottom?
I need some help.
Yours won't look like that. I've just done a really rubbish job. But it'll be fine. Okay. I will tidy it up. I will repiece it, etc.
Right.
Did you not find one?
Well, I couldn't get it off. It was stuck on the knob. I needed someone to come and help me.
Okay.
So I just left it because it was too stuck on there. The last time I tried to get one off, it broke.
Right. Okay.
I managed to snap the ruler last time I did that because
I'll try and do this without a ruler.
It's all right, Dan will get you one. Right. While we're sorting ruler issues out, let's talk about this cushion, the Haven. Now, this kit is fab because it comes with a printed panel that contains all the fabric you need. Fab. So, and it makes a mat and a mug rug. It was so popular last time we came on, so popular. I think it's a really lovely design. It looks much more complex than it is, which is something I love about a design. It looks really, really complex. And we don't have many of this bundle, like 18. Let me show you what you get in it. It's a big cushion as well.
It is, isn't it?
It's really big. We had it on the 9th of February last year, and it completely sold out. It's a big cushion. Right. Is it? It looks like 20 inches. I was trying to see on the pattern. So look at the panel that you get with this, $34.99. This has got, it's really lovely, isn't it? This has got, I've got to open it all out, all of the fabrics that you are going to need to make this. Cushion, mat and mug rug. So there's the cushion. And then you've got a mat as well. So the mat you could put underneath your machine, and then you've got the little mug rug. Oh, now I've seen that.
So the mat is here. Ah.
And then you get the little mat as well. And then the little mug rug. But the mat you can put under your machine. It's brilliant, isn't it? So this is a great thing to have in your sewing room. Or, you know, only because the mat could go into your machine, but you could have that in the living room and the mat could be in the middle of the table. So you've got all of these fabrics, which are gorgeous, aren't they? They're all labelled like cushion vertical contrast border, beautiful shades, navies, pinks, you've got ochres in there, you've got rust. All of the lines are drawn on them. You've even got quilt labels at the top and the bottom.
And there's some flanges in it.
There's a bit of a flange. So, love a flange.
We like a flange. It's textural.
So with it, you've got all... So look how many different prints there are. If you tried to recreate this yourself, you've got to join together all of these prints. You've got to join together all the prints. And then you've got this little flange, which is this bit here. It's just like that little border edge that goes in it. Now, the pink fabric is 1.5 meters is used for where the white fabric is on here. And, oh look, there's a little mat. And then you get full instructions. So the Haven cushion is a really nice big squishy cushion. 20 inch, yeah, it is 20-inch square.
I love a big cushion. I just love
They're just so much nicer, aren't they?
They are.
Well, because if you don't want the whole, because you could just move it to one side a bit, but you've always got that option.
Well, do you know, I'm really bad for working on my lap with my laptop.
Yes.
And sometimes you'll want that on you.
It is, no, I do that. I like to curl up on the sofa with my sort of my laptop.
No risk assessments in my home.
It's just easier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just easier.
Yeah.
I mean, it does mean I haven't got 2 screens, so you can't, like, it's harder to see everything.
Yeah.
But it's just something nice about doing a bit of shopping curled up on the sofa.
Well, I don't need to worry about these things because before I came back onto air, I handed in my notice at university.
Did you?
Today.
Today? And that's that now?
That's that. I handed it in a few days ago. The head asked me to reconsider, put my thoughts on ice, have a cool-off period. And I've emailed her, said, no.
No, I'm not. I'm leaving. Well, that was a brave move. What are you going to do now, then?
More of this.
So?
I love teaching. I love designing. I love my fabric designing. I love it all. It makes me so happy. I love coming here. I just want to do more of it.
Well, there we are, then. Bold decision. Sometimes you have to do these. Yeah.
I woke up on Monday and I literally just thought, don't want to do this.
I did that once. I was walking down the hill to go out on a Saturday night. That was when I decided, just like, sometimes you just have
It just clicks, doesn't it?
You
Sometimes I'm walking down a hill and I think, I don't want to go out. I'm like that. I like to be at home as well.
Yeah, I just thought, I know that's the decision made.
Yeah.
Anyway, look at the size of that panel. It's absolutely massive. What a great price. Now, we do have the instructions on their own if you only want the instructions, because it does, you don't need to have the panel because it obviously does list in it all the fabric that you need. If you want to recreate it exactly. But what I love about this cushion, because basically you're making the blocks and you're repeating them, is very clever with this little flange on the inside. You could take these instructions and you could make this into a quilt. And this could be a brilliant scrap buster. These fabrics, they don't need to coordinate. They can just be anything. I would choose something with a reasonably small print so that you can see it. But you can see from Lucy, she's got a whole mixture of prints and colours. This could be a brilliant memory scrap cushion, because all those, but it could be more of like a memory of projects that you've made, just little bits of fabric, or maybe you squirrel away the tiny Liberty pieces you have. Absolutely perfect for that. £9.99 for the printed instructions. Remember, the instructions are in there for the mat and the little coaster as well. The little coaster. Right, how are we getting on, Lucy?
Really good, thank you. So what I've done, is I have done the bottom row and I've done the middle row. And what I wanted to quickly show you next was how we would go about constructing that bit. So I'm not going to worry about the top edge. I was trying to do it fancy, but it won't work on this machine. Being lazy with my bobbin winding. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start attaching these two pieces together. Like I say, I'll tidy all this up later. We're not going to worry. Make sure our seams are pressed outwards. And we just now need to add our sashing. We're going to have 2 sash bands, you'll see here, just to separate. So now
but again, this is a really good way of learning about, you know, how you do the sort of vertical sashing, horizontal sashing, of how to do the, you know, the different types if you haven't done it before.
Yes, absolutely. I apologise. I've got through a lot of bobbins today somehow.
Yeah, don't worry. We lost all the zips earlier.
You did what, sorry?
We lost all the zips earlier.
Oh.
Yeah. They just disappeared. Don't know where they went. They just flew off into the ether. And then eventually they flew back again. It's the weirdest thing. It's just one of those days.
I'll just put a bit on. That will be fine.
Right, the instructions for the Snuggle quilt and blanket on their own. If you want the printed version, there they are, £9.99. If you want the printed version, you do need to check out. There we go. You've got full instructions, all the cutting guide. You've got all the details here and everything about finishing it off. And you've got the making up the cushion as well. It's all in there. So this is a lovely set of instructions. Maybe you want to use your own fabric for it, but it just means if you want to have a go at using fleece to add to the back of a blanket, this is a really good time to do it. Gorgeous. Do we have any of the kits left, Hannah? Is that it? Right. So the one that Lucy, the pink one, sold out. Right. So the one that let's do the other one, because the pink one has sold out. But if you still want to make a baby one, we have this one that uses the Guess How Much I Love You fabrics. You've got the pink with moons, the blue with moons, and the animals. And then for the backing, we've put a brushed cotton in here in this lovely shade of like tealy blue. Congratulations, Lucy. As John Scott always says, never be anywhere you don't want to be. I left lunchtime job in May 23 because of that. Good luck from Christine in County Durham. Absolutely, Christine. Never be anywhere you don't want to be. Give it more than a day, I'd say, because some days you don't want to be there. And, you know, I would always say give it a little bit of time to make your decision, but don't be anywhere you don't want to be.
When your job makes you cry.
Only
no
regret.
Reason. What's
Only
the
regret
point?
What you've done, not what you've not done. Well done, Lucy. Wishing you more success in the future from Glynis.
Thank you.
There you go.
I've just sewn a whole row beautifully. I didn't put the bobbin through properly though.
Right, that's fine because it's sort of running out of time anyway.
It's a sign,
You know, so it's a sign, I think.
But we've learned something excellent with the cushion.
Thank God
today.
you haven't given up your day job.
So that's a beautiful little cushion, and take those skills with you into all of your cushion making. Don't be scared. There's no need. We now know the quick way, don't we?
I think that's brilliant, actually.
And you can still add a popper if you want to, or anything like that. And maybe it's
but on that cushion you've made,
it didn't need it.
It's not pulling at all. I think that's genius. It's not. I know I've taken its plastic bags out.
Is that what was in it? I couldn't remember.
Oh no, it was just some wadding in plastic bags.
So yeah,
it's fine, Lucy. This happens to me all the time, and I have sewn. I cannot tell you how long with no thread in my bobbin.
Yeah.
Almost wanted to cry.
Just one of those days.
Thank you so much for today. It's been brilliant. You've really inspired us.
Thank you.
You know, and congratulations.
Thank you. It's what I needed.
Yes.
Today.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. We've loved all of your designs, and you've given us some great tips. So we'll look forward to seeing you back soon.
Thank you very much.
Tomorrow on Sewing Street, it's John. Is John on tomorrow? Yes. Yeah, oh yeah. John Scott is on tomorrow starting off with Claire Donnelly at 8 o'clock, native lighting. At 9 o'clock, Susie Duncan will be in doing the FPP butterfly bag and pebble bag. 10 o'clock, all about the sewing room tools. And 11 o'clock, Susie will be back to go through June Taylor lunch boxes. And 12 o'clock, something that we all need in our lives, sewing machines. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week. Now, next Thursday, it's my birthday. It's actually my birthday. I'm going to be here on my actual birthday to do a special show where I've got a couple of my favourite guests. I love all my guests, but I love these two. The two that I haven't seen for ages. And I will see you back here next Thursday.
Pressing your seams in dressmaking is not like ironing your clothes normally. You have to properly press it. It's not rubbing it over really quickly, but it will make your sewing look 100% better, so don't forget to do it. Sometimes you have to press your seams open. Make sure your iron's nice and hot. I tend to press on the inside and on the outside, so your ironing looks really crisp.
Shopping with Sewing Street couldn't be easier. You can shop via our website at www.sewingstreet.com, where you can watch our live shows and see all the products